Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, the last episode before Civil War, also known as 19, Failed Experiments. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is the increasingly nerve-wracked Clio. And Rachel. So,
Happy May 4th!
Happy May 4th.
Escorted from the theater in a stretcher.
Just give me oxygen. Just take an EMT with you.
Why do I have a feeling that there's a viral video that's going to show up on, like, Staten Island's official website, just like, you know, sitting here, like, you know, lady goes crazy in movie theater at showing of Civil War.
I'm going to see it in Jersey, where they can serve me alcohol. So.
Oh, I'm jealous.
That, yes.
I want to do that. That's a great idea. But I just like see a shaky cell phone video, like this Bucky on screen, something's major is happening, and all of a sudden I just hear, "Ah!" from like rows in front. Yeah. I'm
gonna need like a blanket and.
Who's going with you? Because they need to carry some volume.
John, poor John is going with me.
He needs to carry some sedatives with him afterwards or something. Maybe during. Shut up.
Someone posted something, and it was like, I need you to come with me to see Civil War because Bucky. No. I need you to come with me to see Civil War when Bucky. When Bucky what? When Bucky! Just when Bucky and like giant letters.
Because something's going to happen
anyway,
to Bucky.
We're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D.
I know. Something's going to happen to Bucky. We just don't know what it is. It's going to be good, bad, both. When Bucky. Anyway, we're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D.
We are talking about S.H.I.E.L.D.
Failed experiments. Kind of a few usages of that word this episode, that phrase. Most notably involving Dr. What's-His-Face there, turning the remaining leaders of Hydra, the remaining loyal believers of Hydra who escaped capture, turning them into organic paste.
That was so disgusting. I was like, ugh. I was like, thank God I'm not eating.
And they're just like sitting here like...
We just had that happen in Gotham, though. It's like... I think it was less shocking to me because a similar thing, like, in the season of Gotham happened.
Well, I don't
like, someone just melted. And it's like, oh, okay, all right.
No, I'm just sitting there like, huh. So that's what happens if somebody does all the molecular bonds in your body.
Yep.
Neat.
You melt.
Ugh, it was disgusting.
Yeah. Daisy's just looking like, ah! Yeah. That didn't work. But, apparently the original experiment, and we got to see Hive when he was still a hunter-gatherer in what I would assume, Africa?
That was so freaking cool.
Yeah, It was, and he was like, it was thousands of years ago. So he's pretty freaking old.
Yeah, he was a hunter, captured, after making a successful kill, and abducted by Kree Reapers, as he put it, and injected with their blood and some other stuff.
Their DNA and
And he was turned into what he is now.
It didn't work out.
No, it didn't work out.
Well, what they called him was the failed experiment, so.
They did. So, before we get to that, Coulson, that scene with Coulson just sitting there frozen while time moves around him, like just staring at the screen. Very well done. I love it. But, you know, sees Daisy's face on the camera, on, you know, the screen, like picked up by facial recognition and everything. And that brings up something I'm actually questioning this episode. Is that really part of her subconscious wanting to be found? Or is it like she said, she isn't thinking like a spy anymore?
It's super hard to tell.
It could go either way. It could be that she doesn't want to believe there's still part of that in her subconscious. You know, I mean, if it's your subconscious, you're not fully aware of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you never know. I mean, it could be
Yeah.
both. It could be that she isn't thinking like a spy, but there's still that part of her inside that's going, "Yeah, we're gonna fuck with you a little."
And I mean, it's what was I gonna say about shit? No, I've had a lot of thoughts today just go out my brain, and this one did.
That sucks.
She'll think about it later.
I'll figure it out.
Well, so hopefully somehow they get Daisy back. But
Yeah.
for
Never
now,
know.
yeah, never know. For now, more experiments, and Happy Hive is no longer Happy Hive, especially with failed
No.
experiments and Daisy failing to do her job and all that other fun stuff. Yeah, he's not a happy
Well,
camper.
of course he's not happy, but it's like it was like she was when she was trying to do something. It's like she was being torn apart. You could see it in her face.
Yeah.
It was, her eyes were welling up with tears, but then there's that
While
other
she was
part of her. Yeah.
Yeah, while she was beating the shit out of Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like she wanted to stop it, but she couldn't almost like she couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, she gave what was the excuse she gave? I don't have to act like a spy anymore. It's like that sounded to me like a lame ass excuse.
That
Like
sounds like you're rationalizing.
you don't just stop. You don't just turn it off.
I mean, you're rationalizing because your conscious mind wants, those parasites that are happily fucking your the pleasure center of your brain to keep
Yep.
happily fucking the pleasure center of your brain.
That's what's happening.
It is. But you could tell the anguish on her face, and I was just like, oh my god, this is horrible. What is it doing to her inside? It's like it's just tearing her apart.
It's like, I really don't want to kill you, Mac, but God, this feels so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can guess. Because I mean, it's not direct mind control. We know that.
No. There's a part of her that is that's doing it because, well, what what they said about her? They said that she's still Daisy, but inserted with his agenda.
Right. It's Daisy on his agenda.
On his agenda.
Yeah.
So it's just like everything's working fine except for someone put, their own little piece of software in her.
I mean, her whole thing is she wants that experiment to go well so she can turn all her friends into Inhumans so she doesn't have to kill them.
Yeah.
See, and that right there shows that there's still that part of her that is, their friend and wants to, save them and stuff. So there's still that part of her that at the same time, like I said, it's tearing her apart. What it's going to do, we don't know. And if it can be helped, we don't know. We don't know. They're really keeping her and what's going to happen in the dark. Because,
Yeah, and even what's going on in her brain, because we're not 100% sure.
She could be totally, after this experience with, beating the crap out of Mac, she could, and him telling her all this stuff basically straight out, she could be all of a sudden just started, you know what, I'm going to freaking try to creep into Hive and destroy it. Or she could have actually decided just to go with it.
Yep.
It's making me think of Bucky. He was brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. And then
It is almost brainwashed, but
kind of is almost, yeah. But the only two who really kind of have an idea of what's going on are Fitz and Simmons, who have tried to come up with an antitoxin or an antidote,
whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it, that will break Hive's control over Daisy. It's only going to work on Inhumans. They can't test it on people.
No.
So the idea would be tested on an Inhuman, on Lincoln.
Yep.
He volunteered.
Yeah, Lincoln is just like, I volunteer as tribute. Just
I know, that's exactly
into
what
the lab.
It's like, I volunteer as tribute. Calls is like, nah, too dangerous. Not happening. Next scene, jab.
It's like, oh, come on,
I knew he was
Lincoln.
going to do it. I knew he was going to do it. I mean, he's feeling lost. He's feeling, he has no control. He doesn't know what to do. He's locked down. He's not as experienced as everyone else, so he doesn't have he has nothing to do because he hasn't been there long enough to be able to help and do stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lincoln is a precious cinnamon bun that must be protected at all costs.
Jab
right.
nearly kills himself, electrocutes the lab. Going
Yeah.
well.
Fries the servers.
Fries half the servers, fries the computers.
And
Great
it
plan.
just
And it didn't work.
yeah, I know. It's like he almost died for nothing.
Yeah, look at
I
it's
have
like
a feeling that something's going to happen when he gets recovered with his immune system, and something's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe.
it's possible. That
Because it wiped out his immune system, so it's coming back. So it will come back different than it was before
it's possible.
because he introduced that into his system. So it's a possibility. It's just something I'm throwing out there. Let's see if it sticks to the wall.
Yeah,
And it's just like every time there's Lincoln, I'm like, please, Lincoln, just be okay. just be okay.
it's like we're throwing science at the walls, folks. See what sticks.
Yeah.
We have a wall of crap we throw at.
I also like how he keeps struggling with his anger issues. Like we keep seeing it come back. And I forgot to mention it last week, but May brings it up in this episode where it's like you threatened to torture this woman. Like we saw him like be all electric, like he couldn't control half of it.
It's like you want to help, stop trying.
Yeah. I mean it's
she's
hard
a little right.
She is right, but no one's. He hasn't been there long enough to get trained, so he's kind of green. I mean,
and he's still not taking orders very well.
No, I mean he's been on his own. I mean, Xialing grabbed him, nabbed him when he turned and stuff, or she turned. I can't remember which one. But anyways, and she didn't really train him. I mean, she trained him to control it, but she didn't train him in any other thing.
Yeah,
how to. She trained him to control his powers, but not like his anger, not. And then he gets thrown into this, and he gets trained to fight. No one's attacking the real issues.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
They need another Andrew that doesn't turn into
they need a real therapist. It's not gonna go evil.
Well, yep. They need a therapist. They all need a therapy.
They need a non-evil therapist. So now this whole thing was, brought up by Fitz and Simmons, who Simmons doesn't want to do it, it's too dangerous. Fitz thinks it'll work, and Lincoln wants to do it, doesn't care. Fitz is playing the middleman here.
I like the fact that Lincoln was like, "You're not the only doctor here."
It's true.
Very true.
And he goes, "I looked at the research. It's far smaller than He's just like saying you're blowing it out of proportion.
Mm-hmm. Well,
whether or not she is or not, I could see her doing that because she's tired of losing people, and what happened on the planet. She doesn't want this to happen again. She doesn't, she's still cautious.
Right. And now
she's still
he's her
really
bitch.
Cautious. Yeah.
But speaking of Fitz and Simmons, assuming they both survive this season, are they gonna work?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, they've come to the conclusion that their work is going to be separate than what their relationship is, and if they can keep that separate, which sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it's not, it's going to bleed into each other. But if for the most part, if you do, you should be fine.
Okay.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
That works.
I think they'll be okay.
So let's go back to the city or the town that Hive bought. I love that he bought a town.
This sounds funny. The town that
He bought a town.
Huh?
He bought a town.
Bought a town.
Like, who does that?
May and Mac and 4 volunteers, crazy S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers. They head there.
I didn't get a chance to look it up, but I think the lady who called dibs on the big gun, I think she's also in Supergirl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she's one of the, what's that organization called?
I don't watch Supergirl.
I don't know, DEO.
Okay.
She's the one at the head computer all the time.
Yeah, she looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she's got a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
And she misses.
She hit him.
No, she hits him. Listen.
She hit him in the fucking shoulder.
Listen, what? They did, like, no
head.
research. How did they expect shooting him with a missile was going to work?
They didn't know. It didn't work.
They pumped bullets into him before, and it did jack.
He oozed.
He
Like, this was
oozed.
the most ill-conceived plan they've ever had. I felt like I was watching Legends of Tomorrow. Whenever there's a bad plan, I'm going to reference that show.
I have to credit May with, pulling the fast one on what's-his-face there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was hilarious on James.
On
It
Gambit
turned
knockoff.
from day to night.
Yeah.
So much time. Like, they were just sitting there behind the truck while she was, like, trying to get the information.
I think it was close to, it was late afternoon. But
I know.
still, it was hilarious. She's just playing him along, and well, she knew as soon as Max said he's a blowhard. He's, she
You can
knew
do that? You
It's
can set up a meeting?
oh, now might not work.
Oh,
He's really
she
busy.
knew exactly how to do it.
But I mean, he might
uses
still
that.
be in the old abandoned mining facility. Whack! Like,
Immediately knocks him out.
it's like, oh, thank God, I'm done with
Perfect.
I know she uses her feminine charm to her best ability, and
Yeah.
she's amazing at it, and it was hilarious.
that. So,
Because he would have told her the combination of David Jones' locker if she would have asked.
pretty much. So we find out what the device that Hive dug up with, from his, the yard and the orb, what that does.
I had a feeling it was like a beacon kind of
It's
thing.
the only thing that can destroy me. Well, we theorized it's a weapon, it's a stasis pod, it will undo the inhuman mutations. No, it is a beacon that will summon sleeping Kree soldiers. Or
Yeah,
the Kree Reapers.
When they walked in the barn, or whatever that was, and it was sending out the signal, I was like, he's calling the Kree. I was like, you're a fucking madman! You're calling the Kree!
They're not calling the Kree homeworld, they're calling a satellite that was left in
And
orbit.
they're
Yes, that's
separate than the Kree, which is kind of, I would like to know how
Yeah.
that works.
Also, are those the same two Kree?
He said they were in
yeah,
stasis.
they are. They're in stasis. They were in stasis orbiting the Earth.
Or orbiting somewhere in the solar system.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably not orbiting Earth, because I think we would have found it with the millions of satellites we have.
Well,
But still, yeah, they're orbiting up there waiting.
in order to detect an object in space, you have to look at something it's either emitting or reflecting. And if it's absorbing all infrared, radio, and all other kinds of emissions, it's going to be as black as the space around it. I mean, at that point, then you look for a hole in the, the background and everything. But
Yeah.
now we're getting technical.
I thought
but,
he was calling the Kree homeworld, is what I thought.
See, if he called the Kree homeworld, he really would have been fucked.
We'd be fucked. Like, the whole world would be fucked.
Because he called two Kree that were on two Kree Reapers that were on a satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah, calling the Kree homeworld would have just been, oh my god,
Yeah,
buckets of fun.
The way he said that they're separate from the Kree, so they don't.
Well,
they're like an offshoot kind of thing.
Well,
They're
the guy that we got last season, forgot his name. He said he wasn't with the Kree either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was separate.
But
these are like, I don't know how to explain it. It's independent contractors.
as Hive said, the humans are at the point where the Kree were when they made me. Okay, so these two Kree are still at that point technologically. So if you would have called the Kree homeworlds, they could have probably killed your ass from orbit.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you are.
Yeah, I mean, the Kree as a whole have abandoned Earth and the Inhumans.
Let's look at Ronan. He was a Kree.
Yeah, Ronan is a current Kree.
Mm-hmm. Well, was a current Kree.
Yep.
I mean, even without the power gem, he was extremely formidable. Mm-hmm. And he had a crazy fucking spaceship. So.
And I mean, I think the fact that he held the power gem for as long as he did says a lot too.
Yeah.
So the Kree drop down, blow up the barn, and as Hive puts it, we need living Kree blood. You're gonna go get one of them for me. I faced Kree before. It was not, it was really insane.
Not easy. He's like,
these two will be far more dangerous.
I know. I almost thought at that point she was like, holy crap, he's putting me in danger. He doesn't really care about me kind of thing. But
well, she did it.
She might have thought that, but then his agenda, surpasses what she thought.
Broke his arms, broke his legs, broke his spine. It's like, what was that last bit?
What was that last sound?
His spine. Drain him. Ugh.
Yeah.
So, Hive kicks the crap out of the other Kree. Doesn't get much blood out of it.
No, he wasn't, because he expected Daisy to succeed with the one she had.
But Daisy offers up the other solution. You want Kree blood? It's in me. And human DNA is not good enough. It's like, no, they injected me with Kree blood after, Quinn shot me. Ward will
And
remember.
if you have, Ward will remember.
He does.
He does. Like, his face lights up like,
Oh
he
my
does.
I was wondering when that would come back around.
He's such a freaking good actor.
It's just
And,
like,
every episode
drain
I say it,
me.
and it never gets less true.
No, every episode with him as Hive is just making me appreciate him more and more.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
I feel so bad for Mac.
I
too.
know, I do too.
Mac
But
just got the
he's-
crap beat out of him.
But I really liked what May said to him. She's like, why does everybody keep trying to make this about themselves?
Yeah, true.
And she's really
Well-
right. It's like, everybody's got to stop thinking they're guilty.
Well, see, what's funny, the reason
Get
why I
over it.
think that Daisy's so torn apart is because she could have killed Mac easily.
Yeah, she could have.
But she didn't. She just beat him up, and she could have broke his arm. She could have did all what she did to the Kree
I thought
on him, and she didn't. She was
I thought
like
she did
pinning
break
him
his arm.
down. I don't know. It didn't
She
look
broke
like it.
something.
She might have broke his arm, but she could have killed him like that, but she didn't.
Yep, there's part of her that's forcing her to hold back.
There is. She's totally fighting, and like he said, because there's a party that's fighting back. But it's her, but she's not thinking about fighting back because Mr. Infestation is, like you said, humping her happy cells. And
So, I mean, that's pretty much that for this episode so
how
far.
many more euphemisms can we come up for that?
I don't know. The big thing that they keep pushing.
Humping her happy
they
self.
did bring up Iron Man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a billionaire can make an iron
yes.
suit, and a government can make a super soldier.
Soldier. I was like,
It's like
I
all
was
the references to war and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, I can feel Civil War coming. Here it comes.
so
it
that's
feels in her
coming.
bones. I was like, during that whole scene, I'm just like, Chrissy's gonna face.
Oh my
So they're
God.
pushing that, and every week for the past couple of weeks, including this week, the promo for next episode is pushing Daisy's vision of the future. Like, who will die? Like,
I
And
thought it was
who will
happening now.
die?
I thought Mac was dead. I thought it was happening. This
no,
episode.
who's gonna die in the blowing up space plane?
No, I know. Well, okay, the blowing up space plane, that doesn't necessarily mean that someone on the plane is going
True,
to die.
very
what I
true.
mean? It could be just a related event that someone dies somewhere else.
So,
Like we've said before, that when she saw the future, it's nothing.
mhm,
Not everything's what it seems.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
the blurb we get for next episode is the episode's called Emancipation. With only 2 episodes left before S.H.I.E.L.D. loses one of their own. Like, really, thank you for just heavy-handing that to us. Now it's not a surprise. Daisy's prophecy ticks closer to a major loss. As the aftermath of the events of Marvel's Captain America Civil War forced S.H.I.E.L.D. to register the Inhumans.
I'm gonna be okay.
You know you're not.
No, I'm not. Who am I kidding?
Next episode, she's gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
I'm gonna be like SpongeBob. I don't need it. I don't need
I don't
it.
need it.
I don't
I don't
need
need
it.
it. I need it.
I need it.
I need it. Oh, you poor thing. So this weekend is actually, what is it? It's less than 24 hours. No, I'm sorry, it's more than. It's 25 and a half hours from now. Civil War releases, midnight release.
It's gonna kill me because I can't watch it Friday.
It's okay. You're going Saturday?
I am.
She's gonna.
You'll
she's,
be okay.
She's gonna be. She's taking down the internet until
We're gonna, yeah. We're gonna be driving there. I'm just gonna vibrate through the car.
It's like,
she's gonna maintain, social media silence.
They're gonna have to turn.
Seeing it.
John's gonna have to turn around and come pick you back up on the side of the highway after you vibrate through the door. It's like,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
shit.
Crap. They gotta go pick her up.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention?
No, man, I'm done.
All right. So on that note, Clio, where can they find you?
You can find me at Clio Moto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. Especially Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Rachel, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter, Samantha.
You can find me on Twitter at Thilladrin right here. You can find all of us on Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube. I did it. At ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Keyword on the movies. Coming up soon. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a lovely night.
Yep.
Just all of the inhuman noises.
Mm-hmm.
Inhuman as in not human, not inhuman.
I was gonna say
You have to clarify that.
Yeah, I didn't realize
all
that.
the inhuman noises Cleo's gonna make.
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. Pulling this down.
Bye.
Bye.